Okay.
Hi, good morning, everybody. We
Good
start
afternoon. not
Good afternoon,
morning.
good morning.
Good morning tomorrow.
tomorrow morning, right? Now it's good afternoon. Okay, we have the second.
No. I'm calling the meeting to order.
According to the meeting, to the order.
I'm calling the meeting to order at what time is it?
At time, according to the meeting, it's 7:05,
Great.
7 PM, 5 minutes.
Good.
Establish the quorum of a quorum.
Okay, ask who is attending.
Daniel Epstein.
Elizabeth, are you?
Manuel Polvora.
Me, Raúl Cohen,
In the Zoom. Who is
in the Zoom, who is in the Zoom?
Mariano Magro.
Perfect. And,
Mariano Magro.
okay, and Paul?
Paul Warren.
Okay, so
Everyone is here, we established a quorum, okay?
yes. Number 3, proof of notice of meeting. Approval of the last meeting minutes.
No.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so
Proof,
proof of notice of meeting was posted
yes.
on
Posted
April 11th.
April 11, right? And we are according to the laws. So it's
What? No, what?
the number we got
Four.
for approval of the last meeting.
Meeting minutes, okay? Do you wanna waive the reading or you wanna read?
Somebody want to waive or you want to read?
Please read the minutes.
Read the minutes. Okay, read the minutes. Read it.
Where is?
Where do we read it?
Okay.
In our last board meeting for March 8th, regarding 40 years recertification, Mo Pazuki from Epic Forensics explained the steps and process of the 40 years certification project, answering questions with reference to credentials, past experience, projected length of time, and the new regulation codes requirements that went into effect several weeks ago. Board explained that Epic was selected out of 5 engineering companies and pending signing of the contract that was reviewed and recommended by association attorney. Board was asked to inquire whether Epic Forensics had any malpractice lawsuits and or DBPR complaints in the past. Property manager will inquire and advise the board of such. And just to bring everybody up to speed, the answer is no to both. Laundry and dryer machines. Property manager explained that CSC, current company providing services to Delvista, was selected by the previous board in a meeting that took place last year. However, the board at the time could not agree on either front load or top load washing machines. Glenn Frank from CSC joined the meeting and provided an explanation and reasons behind why it would be more beneficial for condominium to go with a top load machine. Elizabeth Ayub made a motion to approve top load machine, seconded by Paul Warren. Mariano Magro, Manuel Polvora, and Raul Cohen were in favor. Daniel Epstein sustained, motion carried.
Here.
Appointment of legal liaison. Raul Cohen explained the importance of appointing a legal liaison to effectively communicate with legal along with property manager, thus reducing unnecessary costs and expenses generated for legal matters. Additionally, the purpose of the appointment is to create order in how to address legal matters properly. Daniel Epstein made a motion to appoint Raul Cohen as legal liaison, seconded by Paul Warren, all in favor. Main pool upgrades. Raul Cohen explained that the board would like to consider several upgrades to the pool to include new furniture, new canopy, and possibly permanent barbecue. Mariano gave some details pertaining to the financials and that kind of a project would get budgeted from reserves and operations, depending on the item intended for upgrade. Board was also asked to inquire about insurance requirements for moving forward with permanent barbecue. Paul Warren made a motion to explore the purchasing of pool accessories, seconded by Mariano Magro, all were in favor. Gym AC replacement. Raul Cohen explained the need to replace the 3.5-ton AC in the gym. Eddie Suarez, building engineer, advised that he met with 3 different AC companies and explained the scope of work and details involving the replacement of the gym AC with a 5-ton AC unit that would provide cold air not only in the gym, but also to the hallway leading to the gym, as well as both restrooms. Eddie will also check with Advanced Fire to make sure that the AC duct smoke detector is properly connected and functioning. Raul Cohen made a motion to approve Reliable AC Services of South Florida for replacing the AC gym seconded by Mariano Magro. Paul Warren, Elizabeth Ayub, and Manuel Poblado in favor. Daniel Epstein against. Motion carried. Assisted animal inventory. Assistance animal inventory. Raul Cohen explained the need to conduct assistance animal inventory since management had only 35 registered assistance animals in the system. While the impression is that there are many more non-documented or non-registered assistance animals in the building. Association Attorney Roberto Blanche advised that he would work with property manager to create a communication to be sent to all residents, which will include the requirement to provide, among other things, a photo of the pet vaccination records, an ESA letter from an authorized Florida physician. Paul Warren made a motion to proceed with conducting the assistance animal inventory, seconded by Daniel Epstein. All in favor? And just to bring everybody up to speed on this, we are almost done preparing all the documents. They should be going out beginning of May to all owners. It's gonna have, first of all, a board meeting to approve.
Special board meeting.
No, a board meeting that requires 14-day notice. That's the only difference.
And then
Thereafter, the assistance animal rules and regulations, as well as the resolution, will be mailed to all owners. Adjournment. Roll call made a motion to adjourn the meeting at 9:05 p.m. Seconded by Mariano Magro. All in favor?
Perfect. Okay, thank you. Listen, before we start, we want to clarify in between and all of our neighborhood. The last time was.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need somebody to make a motion to approve the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I second it.
In favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Aye.
Before- Mariano,
Yes, approved. Yes, I said.
perfect.
Did Paul approve?
Yes.
Thank you.
Before we start, we want to clarify and to be honest with everybody. We did not accept any type of comments that could be racism or whatever is against the human beings. We start. This is our second meeting board. We try to change all the in order to be clarified to everybody that we are neighborhood. We trade like neighborhood with respect. We cannot accept any comments against nobody, no lounge, no gritería, ¿cómo se dice gritería?
Screaming.
No screaming, insulting, nothing of that. This is not the way to work in our property. We try to do our best. We are here, we are volunteers. We try to be, we spend our time
Yes.
to do it on the best. And of course, we respect each other and everybody from here to the neighborhood and from the neighborhood to us. We can discuss everything, everything is open on the table, but with respect and with consideration each another.
Mr. President, can I add something to that?
Yes,
I think what you're saying here is there was a comment that was made that I think can be interpreted in Spanish as racist. And it sounds like you and the board are repudiating and saying that that's not tolerable.
no,
Any anti-Semitic, anti-Muslim, anti-Christian
Nothing.
remarks, anything that is slanderous is not acceptable to you as a president and to the board.
right,
And I think you are all saying that clearly today.
right.
So the record is rather clear. Thank you for doing that.
That's why we
Is everyone
clarify.
saying that? 'Cause I'm not
Yes,
sure.
I'm saying it. More than this, if I'm as a board member, if I'm going to be in environmental, if something happened, I am leaving.
I'll be very honest with you, when I heard it, I was sick to my stomach. And I was very surprised that no one else said anything about it. And, I was just shocked, and I think that is a very violent comment that was made. So from someone that's a, Black that's black, it's very offensive, and I understood it, and I don't speak Spanish.
I didn't hear it, I was
I
here,
didn't hear it.
but I share your sentiment with it, and I think the board is trying to set the policy clear that they're repudiating and that will not be tolerated.
I just wanna, just a casual comment,
I agree.
because again, that makes me like anxious, nervous, sick to my stomach, because it's called today, tomorrow it's me. But kudos to him for not responding to that, because I would have.
The best example you have that I was born in Venezuela. I'm Latino. And even though I don't speak so fluently English and I'm sick here, this is the more example that we are all the same and in the same way. At the time it was so fast that I didn't realize we realized after the meeting, and we was very surprised. This is not acceptable. No way, this is no way. I mean, the next time something like that, or some streaming or whatever, we finish immediately the board.
And hopefully, if we can identify the person who said it, we can file a grievance against him as neighbors.
I'll be honest with you, that person better never ever say anything again in a meeting, because I recognize that voice. I just have to hear it again. I will let you know.
Just real quickly, it was repudiated, Joanna, in an email and personally, and also it was through the board, and I think Woody as well placed it.
I think we're all disgusted.
We're all discussed on it.
Yeah,
You
I just
sure you're
was
just-
kind of like.
So it was openly repudiated by the board, it was also repudiated by the property manager, and personally I repudiated.
Instead to send a letter and to put more salt in the water, we prefer to speak in the same place that occurred what happened, and that's why we clarify first of all in the name of the board and of course in the name of our neighborhood. This is not acceptable any form, any time, any nothing.
Not on our premises.
No, nothing.
Danny, I tell you, something happened, I'm just leaving. I know I'm
It's
allowed.
okay, I think we would prefer for you to repudiate it on the spot, whoever said it, and tell that person that they can't participate.
I'm not into this, I'm telling you, I'm leaving, that's all, I'm spending enough time over here and enough thing. If that's happening, I'm just leaving. I'm not a policeman, I'm not going to do, I'm leaving. The moment I hear something like this, I'm a loud person, but nobody hear me one time curse or anything. That's me, but that's going to this, I'm leaving, that's me. That it is, the moment it's happened, I'm
It's
leaving.
not a
I
point
don't care.
to leave or not. It's point that it's not acceptable, something that we can understand each other with the word and with respect. We can see we have a difference, it's running normal, regular, but not in that point.
We cannot agree on stuff, we can, that's why we have a meeting, nobody have to agree with me on anything, but I'm not here to this environment, I'm just leaving.
So it's
I don't want to
clarified.
waste my time.
I don't want to give any apologize because I never do, I didn't hear, and when, again, it's not acceptable. With that, I think that we made the rules clear. Now we start with renovate, we have 3 new business that we want to do it today. Voting on renovation of elevator caps, ratifying waiver of fine of our unit owner, ratifying vote on repairing parking lot, non-working light, and a judgment.
Hold on. The elevator, let's start with the elevator. I just gave you guys a sample over here. I think that's the 3 choices we're going to have. I was in charge, me and Udi, in this project. I like to table it today, and the reason is I narrow it to 3 options. So we have bids like from 5 companies, but now I want to compare apple to apple, and another issue came with safety. We need another things from the elevator company, so I like to table it and to be ready for next board meeting so I can compare apple to apple.
And also, well, at least we are to the comment that testify that it's worked very hard. I saw that they all the time talk and meet and spend a lot of time on this. We try to do our best, the cheapest, but the nicer, and to be at the same level that all buildings in Aventura.
So is that a motion to table the pending additional
Yes,
information?
yes. I make a motion to table elevator renovation.
Is it you or
Me.
I second
You
it?
don't have to make a motion.
No, we don't need to.
No?
Okay.
No.
Perfect. Then-
No, it's only,
Before we put it to bed, do we know what the estimated cost is gonna be and what the time? frame
I
is?
got this one from one company. It's between $80,000 to $100,000
For all six
for
now.
all six.
For all six.
For all six elevators.
What about this one? 7.
The 7 one, next to this elevator is no good. It's not going to meet the code at all, so we're working to get the code, thing, this elevator gone.
So should this one be replaced too?
No, it's gonna be replaced.
we need to replace.
No, we're not replacing over there.
We're refurbishing.
The caps.
We can,
This one being
we refurbish the caps, we put the caps on, new caps.
So for the
Danny,
next-
just one comment. Do you think that for next or whenever we are going to vote for this, we can get samples ahead? So whatever
Yes,
we
I got-
vote,
we
we
got the
have the
sample.
samples.
We got, Mariano,
got the sample,
we
I
got
emailed
the
you.
samples here.
Okay.
If
Before you leave.
I email you everything.
No, I did already.
No, I mean the samples for the finishing. So
Yeah,
pieces
yeah,
of
yes,
whatever
yes.
finishings. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yes, okay.
and we can compare apple to apple with the other companies, you know?
Also, next, point 6, ratify waiver of a fine of a unit. At this point, I want to Mariano, that is something that we have, that we come with this to the on the new board. So I would like to Mariano to make a small, a quick explication in order to start.
Yeah, yes, no problem. I can do that. I cannot be too open because there is some medical record things tied to the permit of having an animal. So I would like to apologize ahead if I am not clear enough. But the problem we have is not the problem, the situation we have. It's that there was a fine imposed to one resident that had an animal, and they didn't present the paperwork for that animal to be properly recorded and authorized in the building. So after this was in 2020. Beginning of 2020, so after some requests from the management office and some time after, don't remember exactly if 1 or 2 months, that paperwork was presented. And we, the board, I am the only board member that was a board member at the time, were asked to vote through email to either release or enforce the fine. And if I don't recall incorrectly, it was voted 5-2 to lift the fine. And we left it that way, but we were informed by the attorneys that we need to do it and ratify it in a board meeting. So last year, there was no conditions to do that for public reasons, publicly known reasons. And we would like to come to a close to this. My personal opinion is that after the recommendations we got from the lawyers, there is nothing that more legal risk and potential cost for the association if we don't do it, despite whether we like or whether the situation is agreeable to us or not. So if I'm not sure if you have some discussion that want to make, but if not, I would like to make a motion to ratify the lifting of the fine.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Well, let me ask a question. How many warnings did this person get?
It wasn't warnings, he got fines.
No, you're not representing that correctly.
Okay.
Because if this case is the one that I'm thinking of, the former manager was there before you,
Okay.
showed me emails that were sent to this person, letters that were sent to this person. And so we're not talking in secrecy here. There was a meeting where this was openly discussed about this person. There was a meeting where we had to have it over there because renovations were underway. And this person said that the manager, well, he would not disclose the documents that were required because he thought that he alluded that the manager was dishonest and suffered from moral turpitude issues. I have a very good memory. And this problem came up because this person basically said he would not comply with those rules. Misrepresented that the animal was not a service animal, but that it was an animal that he was taking care of. If I'm wrong, stand me corrected
No,
because
no,
I'm
I
wrong
don't
every
know the
day.
facts like you do.
Okay, well, I know the facts.
I knew the
No,
fines,
and the
the
facts-
fines I knew, I didn't know.
Well, the facts were actually discussed with Mr. Blanche at a meeting because this person aspired to a position on the board. And in that meeting, he was not qualified because he had an outstanding fine, which, as I recall correctly, disqualified a former member of the other board that was here. And that person, if I'm correct, and correct me if I'm wrong, cost this association close to $1.5 million in lawsuits for discriminating and a HUD cease and desist order and a $25,000 fine for harassment, which ended up in federal litigation, which a federal judge threw our case out. And when I say our case, not mine, but the defense that we had. So there's a context to all this. It shouldn't be secrecy and hiding. So this person flagrantly disregarded the rules, flagrantly disregarded the instructions, flagrantly disregarded the admonitions, and at a meeting said he was not going to comply. Now, if I'm wrong, I defy anybody here or anybody on the internet to tell me, because that person has been a canker on the backside of this association. And those that complain about the lawsuits that we've had to pay and pay thousands and thousands of legal fees is because of that person. And now we're going to forgive him. How many fines have we forgiven? Is this going to be the precedent right now? Because, you know,
I think
To
we-
be honest with you, I need to understand, like, what is the reasoning that each and every one of you are suggesting to, you know, lift this fine?
well,
And,
they're here to
and,
vote on it.
and if you're willing to do that, I want to know so that if I ever get a fine, I expect you to do the same for me. So,
It's easy.
Good point.
It's easy, right? You're right. Please, first,
and especially
Let's-
after all he said,
let's start from the beginning.
I mean, it's really
Bella.
outrageous that, you
Right.
know,
I'm right, listen, we are new here, me and both are first news. New in the board and new in this type of things. First of all, this belongs to the story, to the past. We, in the meeting, in the last meeting, we was with the lawyer, with attorney that represent us all together. His suggestion is.
Don't say that because you're waiving the attorney-client privilege. Anytime you say what you told the attorney in an attorney-client privilege or what the attorney told you, you're waiving that privilege.
Right.
I've been on the board. I suggest you don't do that.
Okay, perfect, so.
I mean, that's to protect the integrity of
No.
the attorney-client relationship.
Okay, perfect. Okay, but we understand that if in case that we don't finish with this point that we do it today now, if we continue, we need to reopen all the story and cost a lot of money again, and we never finish with this case. That's why we want to ratify that. To second what Mariano says, in order to start and to continue our life in the labor with new projects.
It's a difficult pill to swallow, and I
Right.
believe most of us agrees with the recollections Mr. Milian has made, or we can agree or we can't agree. And at this point in time, it's not that it's not relevant, but I personally wouldn't like to open a legal risk, and I don't want to open the possibility for
to be honest with you, you're gonna
for
continue
this person that is
Don't do that to me. I can speak.
sorry.
He's talking. Let him finish.
Okay, folks, let's let her finish Mariano and let her speak now.
Mariano, did you finish?
No, I was talking, but I was interrupted, so I stopped. Because I'm here, I don't know if somebody else is talking there. So the list I want, it's precisely to open a risk for the association and in benefit of the person we are trying to or we are all in accordance that create chaos with dogs and then got the dog without providing the proper payment, so papers. So even though we don't like it, I personally don't like the situation. I think the best for the association in this time, at this moment, is to ratify the lifting of the fine and close that legal risk.
And that is because you guys are in fear that you may have a legal issue.
It's not just fear, Joanna, it's the big possibility that there will be a continuation and we're gonna be on the same merry-go-round, okay, with pushing the reserves, going and paying out more litigation money, and that's where it could be going. So it's like, you know, I don't wanna go into, it's a cancerous situation, there's a catch-22 to this issue. And sometimes we're gonna have to swallow the pill big time.
So
This is gonna be it. Hold on a
so
second.
that-
This is gonna be
the
it.
expectation is that whenever a resident has a fine, you're going to lift it.
That's not, now we're talking about a moral issue. So
No, that's not.
no, it is gonna be a moral
No, I
issue.
think she's referring as a precedent.
Right, I know, and we understand, but as in a moral issue, the person that wants to go in that direction, that's their choice. Now we're talking about morality, okay?
Well, you should be talking about morality a long time ago.
You know what? That's water under the bridge at this point. And I don't think we don't want to continue taxing the reserves at this point. I think that's where we need to go forward. We've got so many things here on the table. It's crazy stuff.
I think, I
just don't understand how you can lift it for one person and not want to do it for others. Like, how many fines do we have outstanding right now?
Under the
for other
circumstances, at this moment, we don't want to tax any more of the reserves for legal issues. That's where, and we got so many things
yeah,
to
but
do.
listen to her question. Let's
Yeah.
focus on what you said.
I'm trying to understand, right now it's $1,000. How many fines, how much do we have in fines that's outstanding for residents that you guys have?
6 individuals,
I'm sorry?
6
What's
individuals,
the amount for those fines?
$100 to 140, 360. Most of them under 1,000, with one sitting at 5,200, which is supposed to get paid.
The one that's at 5,200, what's the reason for that?
Leak from his apartment that caused damages to common areas.
To know how much?
Said 5,200.
Okay, so the fine is not 5,000, it's the damage that's
The
5,000.
damage, right. Are you talking just fines right now?
Yeah.
There's only one owner.
So just one owner. In the history of the association in the last 10 years, how much have we collected in
I
fines?
cannot answer that.
John, none of us over here, you know me. I'm not here to be a policeman and I'm not here to find always my neighbor. I don't want to find nobody. I'm here to watch to manage the building, we have problem. I don't want to get into it. What's happened over here, this board didn't make this decision, the last board didn't make the decision. 2 boards ago, they make the decision. It's a technical.
No, it's not technical.
Oh.
It wasn't a legal vote.
Okay, legal vote, whatever.
Well, technical is when you violate.
Okay, I don't,
Listen, I get your point. This happened in the past. You want to put it behind you. Here's the point that she's making, and I concur with her. An insult unpunished the parent of others. We have somebody who's been an egregious violator of the rules. One of you board members actually complained to me in private how this individual's dog would bark incessantly, which means it's not a service dog. The service dogs are trained not to do that. And yet when they complain, his response, well, good for the dog. I don't need to say who that person was. But this is a person that has been flagrantly disregarding not only our rules, our morality, our ethics, but also the well-being of other residents. I know one board member here was physically attacked. I know that we had an incident in 2015 when I was still on the board where he threatened a postal worker. I wish the postal police would have arrested him, that's a federal crime. And told that postal worker, and I have the documentation if you need to see it, that her days were numbered. So you want to encourage misconduct, you vote your conscience, whatever you do. I'm not questioning your integrity, I'm not questioning your decency, but I think the point my neighbor is making is well taken. An insult unpunished, and I didn't say that, I wish I had, is the parent of others. That was Thomas Jefferson talking about the barbaric pirates attacks. So you do whatever you think is relevant, but she, I think, has a very good point.
All of us at the same point. It's not easy for us. We need to start and continue. That's the main point.
We're not gonna go back we're not gonna go back of all the other board meetings that occurred and.
We're not asking you
I
to.
know, no, I'm just saying, what happened then?
I was at the meeting with Blanche. The vote that was allegedly done, first of all, Gary Lash challenged that. And number two, Roberto Blanche said that it wasn't a legal vote. You cannot vote via email. If I'm incorrect, tell me, 718. You cannot cast vote via email. When I was a board member, we knew that. So I don't know why they would do that. But you vote your conscience right now, but remember, the past telescopes into the future. And you may not have a moral right or an ethical right to impose sanctions on somebody who asks for the same compassion, which they may richly deserve. In this particular case, knowing all the exigencies and all the equities, I don't think is deserved.
Mariano, can you make the motion in order to continue, please?
Yes, just the last comment I want to make is that on top of all the calamities that are being named there, we don't want to add a check from the association to the individual because of we are incurring in a further legal risk. That's my point. And that's why I would like to make the motion to ratify the lifting of that fine.
I second. Who's in favor?
I'm against.
I'm with it.
And
Paul?
Paul?
I'm against.
Okay. So there are 2 against, 4 in favor.
For me to do a verification, I want to do everything been done the last 5 years. I'm not going to cover me personal, nothing has been done, but I wasn't involved. If they go, I want to verify everything been done before, didn't done by the law. Okay, go ahead.
Let me ask you a question if I may. Why do we even have these antiquated rules?
What?
Why do we even have these antiquated?
I
rules?
didn't write the rules.
Why don't we just have a pet-free building? Because everybody who wants to dog here has it. That's a fact.
I mean.
Pets
you would
free
have- you would
building.
Have to go.
I understand, they go on the internet, they say they're a little
No,
screwed up.
no, you see,
I got it.
you don't let speak. To change the bylaw. What I understood, we need 2/3 of the people to be here and something like
Danny,
that.
since I saw some of the litigation that was caused by this guy, just forgive $1,000 fine, let me explain it. It's called federal law. See, we had a civil war where nearly 750,000 Americans died. And we had the 14th Amendment. And it's been established over the last 120 years that federal law is supreme. When we had that litigation, which was about a service animal, our attorneys at the behest of the same guy who forgave the fine said that the animal in question was a pit bull, and there was an ordinance in Dade County that prohibited pit bulls, and the judge laughed at him. The judge said, this is a federal court, so you can have whatever local regulations you want, state laws if you want, and guess what? Federal law commands. Federal law says you're entitled under the ADA, the American Disabilities Act, to have a service animal. HUD supervises. If you fail to comply with that, you can get fined, you can get a consent decree, and you can get sued. In that particular case, we had a consent decree, which means we acknowledged we were discriminating against people with service animals. Number two, there was a fine of $25,000. I think Udi may have a copy. If not, I can forward it to you. And number three, we had to settle for nearly $148,000, that lawsuit. So the reason you cannot have an animal or pet-free building is because federal law says you can't. And we're not gonna have another civil war. I hope nobody wants it.
No, we can change the bylaw.
You cannot make this an animal-free building. Service animals are protected under the ADA.
No, what do we want to do? What do you mean? You want
Yeah, just change
everybody
the
can
rules so
have
we don't have to
a
argue about it.
not to
That's as
argue.
simple
You
as
want
it
to
is.
make the big,
That you can have any.
any,
animal.
pets
That's a good
free,
suggestion.
you know.
Pets free, we're talking about.
We
pets free.
talked about it it's.
No, but when you say pets free, it means free of pets.
No,
Okay, you misunderstood.
no.
He's meaning the opposite.
Okay, I misexplained to you what they want to do with friendly
No, if
buildings.
that's a suggestion, I think it's a great idea,
Yeah, but it's,
but you have to tighten up the rules on
That's a
having pets here
different,
as well.
that's
not
the
on
difference.
That's
agenda.
not in the
but,
agenda,
Can we
let's
stay
go
on the
because,
agenda,
But
please?
that's a good
Excuse me.
suggestion, maybe you can put it in the future.
let's finish first with these because
Uh,
one of us is fasting and
I
needs to
am
go.
fasting and I
She
need
needs to
to
go.
leave like in 2 minutes.
A religious fix and she needs to go. The last point is ratify vote or required parking lot, non-working lights. It's very easy, we have here, we have
violation.
a violation.
Let me, can I explain that?
Yes, please.
Bro, thank you. So about 3 weeks ago, inspector from City of Aventura came to the property, answering a call supposedly from a townhome owner who claimed that there's not enough lights and some lights are not working. So when the inspector came, he basically toured the entire property, found several parking lights that were obstructed by landscaping of some kind. And when he bumps into Eddie, he asked Eddie to turn on the lights and he saw which ones are not working. We basically got a warning. We needed to clear some parking lights, which if some of you noticed, you probably see some lights that we've never seen before here. And additionally, we had to obtain a couple bids as soon as possible, which is one of the reasons why we actually voted by email and ratifying it today. And normally, the rule about voting on something by email is prohibited unless there's something that will be classified as urgent. And considering we had that warning, we had very little time to work with. This was the reason that it was presented by email, and we're ratifying it today in the board meeting. So we have 2 proposals that we received. One is from Elkin. Elkin is a company that we've been working with here a lot. Another one is from Bob Scott Lighting, who came to the property and he's met with the engineer. The engineer also met Elcom. They both submitted the proposals, and we decided to, the board decided to, per vote, move on with Bob Scott. So, any questions about that?
Any questions?
Okay. Please make a motion to ratify.
We make a motion to ratify the repairing parking lot of non-working lights
And selecting,
and selecting, of course, Bob Scott Light Power Sign LLC.
I second it.
I third it.
Vote.
I don't think
just
so.
vote. In favor? In
I'm
favor?
in favor.
All in favor?
Okay, Paul.
In favor.
I'm in favor.
I'm in favor, yes. Bob Scott for 6,800.
Okay,
And
Paul,
I'm in favor.
perfect.
call the meeting to adjourn.
no, you adjourn. No.
Adjournment, and now we
Make a
finish.
motion to adjourn the meeting.
We make a motion
To adjourn the
to adjourn the
meeting.
meeting.
I second it.
The time is.
Time is 7:44.
Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you, good night.
Thank you.
Happy holiday to everybody.